You see, all throughout this video, I have been sharing with you thoughts and feelings of the Freemasons and Illuminists and New Agers that were not easy for you to understand or outright appealing to your senses. But when I took the time to express these same thoughts and feelings of these Luciferians in words and visual displays that were easier for you to understand and that may have appealed to your senses as well, you began to realize the benefits of the information I was sharing with you. And this is what the servants of the devil have been doing for years now. Before watching this video, you may not have known that the numbers 911 have occult symbolism, meaning that there is a need to destroy the existing order of things to pave the way for the establishing of a new world order that will be ruled by Lucifer. But on September 11th of 2001, which is 9/11, the order of the Freemasons and the Illuminati, who were behind the crisis of bombing the World Trade Center building, externalized the occult significance of these numbers 9/11 by placing their symbolic meaning into words, actions, and material objects that you could understand and that definitely appealed to your senses. By running 2 planes into the tallest buildings that contained several highly organized and productive businesses, in a city where the people move about like ants, they were teaching us through these events that we could understand and that appealed to our senses that the current order of how our country was being governed was not good enough because it left a door open for living people to be made dead. Remember that it was the high-level Freemason, a Luciferian by the name of Aleister Crowley, that said a highly organized and perfect secure environment that is run by Christian principles is a government that is stagnant. By the way, the word dead is a synonym for the word stagnant. Then they externalized the occult meaning of 9/11, which is the need for rejecting the light or God's law or God's principles for the purpose of establishing a new order by expressing to us the cost and benefits of a new order. How did they do this, you ask? Well, they did this by telling us that we needed to surrender some of our liberties and freedoms to establish a new order in which we could be safe and happy. The cost was our liberty and our freedom, which, by the way, are principles of God, because we are told in the book of Galatians chapter 5 and verse 1, "Stand fast, therefore, in the liberty wherewith Christ hath made us free, and be not entangled again with the yoke of bondage." America was established by pilgrims that were tired of being in bondage to popes and kings, that were tyrants, and that rejected God's principles. Hence, the Constitution of our country was constructed off of Christian principles, God's principles, which are light, that would ensure the citizens of our country religious and civil liberties and freedoms that the founders of our country did not have under the tyranny of European rulers and popes. So, shortly after 9/11/2001, when we accepted the Patriot Act, which stripped us and is continuing to strip us of our once enjoyed God-given liberties and freedoms, we accepted the occult meaning of 9/11, which is, it is necessary to reject God's principles, God's light, for the establishing of a new order. And the benefits they told us that we would receive is safety. And this whole situation that placed the emotion of fear in the heart of our country was attributed to an external group, which was called terrorism. You didn't know it, but this was the transforming and purifying of their occult metaphors and symbolism through externalization to gain you and millions of others as their initiates into their occult belief that there is a need of a new world order in which Christian principles are rejected. However, that is a way more complex scenario in the way that the Freemasons and Luciferians and New Agers are externalizing their abstract belief system and views than the ways you are being faced with on a daily basis. For instance, the occult meaning behind the skull and the bones they have externalized on a global scale. If the average person was to hear the extremely abstract ideas of the establishing of the 666 beast system connected to the skull and bones, that average person would become confused or be completely uninterested. But by making this very same symbol visible on clothing, jewelry, and accessories of society's favorite singers, actors, or rappers like Jay-Z, the world has now embraced this occult symbol of skull and bones. Furthermore, they embrace the symbol because they have embraced the character of the spirit of the singer, actor, or rapper that visibly displays the skull and bones on their clothing, jewelry, or accessories. Hence, subconsciously, when you see the skull and bones, your mind subconsciously associates it with the spirit or character portrayed by that singer, actor, or rapper you saw wearing it. And that spirit will be the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eye, or the pride of life, because these are the principles connected to the skull and bones 666 Luciferian New World Order system. Ladies and gentlemen, they have externalized the meaning of the skull and bones by making it fashionable and trendy. And you never realized it. You never saw it coming the whole time that they were just initiating you into receiving the spirit of Antichrist and accepting the principles of the Luciferian New World Order.